Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have more to cover as usual. We got an update on the popular rap poll that's on right now, where fans recently voted Eminem over Travis Scott to get him to the semis, and right now he's up against Lil Baby, and we'll get to reactions so far in a bit. And we also have a review thread from 2002 that was revisited by some fans recently over on Reddit that shows that some things never change when it's about Eminem. Remember when casuals discovered Eminem's verse on Medicine Man in 2021, where some called for Eminem to be arrested? Well, we have more on that, but this time from 2002. And before we get started, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and find me on social media at ETLifestyle_web. So we'll get the poll out of the way first, and right now in the semis, it's Drake up against J. Cole and Eminem up against Lil Baby. All the way from 64 rappers, these four made it to the semis. Make of that what you will. And the popular reactions so far are along these lines for the most part. How is Lil Baby in the top 4 and Kendrick not? Believe it or not, here's another popular one. How does J. Cole beat Uzi? And initially when it started, it appears that Eminem started off slow, hence this. How the hell is Eminem almost losing to Lil Baby? But as it stands 15 hours in, Drake leads J. Cole and Eminem leads Lil Baby, so it looks like Eminem will be up against Drake in the final. So much for popular replies like this. Eminem and J. Cole, I don't care what anyone say. And this, I know y'all is not voting Drake over J. Cole. And over on Reddit, in reaction to this poll, since it looks like Drake versus Eminem in the final, some believe this versus Drake. Sad to say, Eminem is losing. Rap TV audience is very young and they worship Drake like their life depended on it. Drake is good, don't get me wrong, but Eminem is much better. I for one did not expect Eminem to get this far up against the youngins in this poll, where Lil Baby took out Lil Wayne, but here we are. And believe it or not, the most popular reaction under the post is this. Eminem better win this whole thing, and up against Drake, final results will be interesting, that's for sure. Moving on to the next topic, since younger Eminem fans always wonder what it was like for Eminem at his peak, this curiosity led to this recent find on Reddit where it goes. This is actually pretty cool to see. I for one wasn't alive at the time when he made the Eminem show, and a lot of people consider that point in time his prime. So it's cool to see what people thought of the album, and the thread didn't disappoint. The OP's review was based on the bootleg album, so some track titles are off, and the review was done track by track that ends with this statement. It's not as serious as MMLP, but M's life hasn't been that serious lately, and he projects that in his CD, instead of just making up problems for himself like other rappers would. Eminem snaps off on every song. It is a great listen. Go get it May 27th. And the negative reactions show that Eminem critics are pretty much frozen in time. Here's some gold. I'm sorry, but I still think this little punk needs to be put away for a long time. He's basically the product of liberalism. Debbie Mathers has lived the inner city lifestyle, and now she's paid the price. And the music industry doesn't want to admit that what they believe in has created this little monster. Now, I'm in favor of the First Amendment, but that doesn't give you the right to lower your standards and rely on shock value for attention. Eminem can only do this shtick for so long. After a while it gets old, and he's gonna have to answer for whatever crimes he's committed if society learns to get tough on troublemakers. This take got the most attention on Reddit for obvious reasons, hence this. There's some slowpoke in there talking about the First Amendment, laughing emojis, and on this another adds, yeah, that one gave me a good laugh. And the irony from that comment is that the libs were blamed for Eminem in that, and today you could argue it's the pro-lib in quotes Gen Z that want him cancelled or arrested. Quite the change, don't you think? Since Eminem was criticized for shock value, a user expanded. I find it funny how Eminem is criticized for shock value, but people love Madonna for it. Those who think badly of him obviously don't understand him. Get to know him, listen to the Marshall Mathers LP. And in a long response to that criticizing Eminem, a user adds this. I definitely criticize M for his shock value. The difference between him and Madonna is that Madonna actually has talent and has put out a lot of good albums. M has just put out horrible tracks that by saying this, it is freedom of speech, he gets away with it. I have heard all the M albums and they do not compare to what Madonna has put out. Translation: I hate rap music, like anyone who truly believes Eminem has no talent. Dude wrote an entire essay to say what is summarized by 4 words. And this response is why I chuckle when critics today claim that Eminem's first 3 albums are classics in an attempt to trash his newer albums. Because if you were around back then, you know they never believed that initially. And the same way they call his new albums trash is the same way they called the classics trash back then. Even Eminem pointed out this on Relapse on Careful What You Wish For. Every CD, critics gave it a 3, then 3 years later, they go back and re-rate it. And to give you some context, remember that these publications rated Eminem's best album lower than Cardi B's best, Travis Scott's best, Uzi's best, the list goes on and on. But over to you guys, what are your thoughts on this throwback? Comment below and see you on the next one.